I had my first shot of getting to the 2000 rating on Lichess. Now that's not a main goal, but it's still something. So I'm gonna show you the game and let's see if I was able to do so. So my opponent started with d4 and I went for c6. Basically giving an option to either transpose into Caro-Kann or go for the main thing and go into Queen's Gambit lines. He did the latter and I went for the Slav Defense. Now my opponent took, so we had the exchange variation and we both developed our knights. All basic stuff up to this point. He developed his bishop and I was debating, develop my bishop or my knight first. Didn't really matter, I thought, so I just developed my knight. He brought his pawn up, I developed my bishop, pinning his knight, most active square. He broke the pin, I brought my pawn up in order to move my other bishop out. Nothing really going on so far. He castled and I moved my bishop here. Now, I was happy with this trade because I'm playing with the black pieces against a higher rated opponent, so equalizing is good, and yeah, I would be removing his most active piece, so didn't worry about that. He didn't take and instead played knight here. Now, I was debating here whether I should take this because it would mess up his pawn structure, but I was wondering, okay, if he does this and this, he has a nice square for his knight. Now maybe in this position I could have either taken his knight, or let's say I did something else, I just castled after he took it. I could, for example, take this first, and after he takes, do something like this. And even though he gets his pawn here, this was what I was worried about. I think it's still good for me, because this pawn is then very weak. But yeah, going all the way back, I didn't really do that, and yeah, I could have, would probably been better. But instead I just castled again, wasn't worried about him trading here. Now he brought his knight here and giving me an option of what to do with my bishop. If I don't move it, I'm gonna lose it because there are 3 attackers now. And I decided to trade. It's my bad bishop after all. Notice all my pawns I have on light squares. So I'm okay giving up my light squared bishop. And he takes with the queen. And at this point I was like, okay, should I do something about the tension here? But I thought, nah, that's fine. So I just brought my rook in to the semi-open file, soon to be opened, I thought. And he started doing some weird stuff. I really didn't know what he was thinking here. It's a 2083 rated player, so there was probably some idea behind it, but even after the game I couldn't find it. And even the engine says it's bad, so I don't know, but yeah, I was happy to see this in the end. And I started just pushing my pawns again. Some general idea is to push the pawns and really have a good square for my knight here. Of course he can take my knight somewhere in between, so that was something to look out for. But I wasn't worried of trading this knight off, because this knight is better than this knight, so that would be a fine trade for me. And I brought this knight back again in order to trade this knight. Now the engine doesn't like this at all. I think a blunder is a bit exaggerated, but yeah, it wasn't really a good move. But I just wanted to trade things off. Now he blundered as well. Again, I don't really think those are blunders, but okay. And I took the knight because I was like, okay, let's just trade everything off. And again, I'm playing black against a higher rated opponent, so I was fine with that. And he took with the pawn. So he wanted to keep pieces on to try and push for the advantage. But I was okay with that. Even though he has some more space, he now has a bad pawn structure, or at least a little worse than he did before. So I was okay with this. Now I brought his rook over and I started pushing my pawns again, continuing this idea here. Engine still doesn't like it, but okay. And that's what basically happened. He brought his bishop back. I'm not really sure what the idea was there. So yeah, I brought my knight to this square. I wanted it all along, and now my knight is suddenly way better than this knight here, and this bishop is doing nothing really, so I was happy at this point with my position. He brought his knight here, again improving his knight, that's a good move. And I brought my queen up, connecting my rooks, and just basically waiting, seeing what he does. So I brought his pawn here, which does solidify this, but it does weaken that pawn. Also his bishop is not really not doing anything, so I was happy to see that. And I started to break here. This again is a very common move in these kind of structures. Basically opening up here, and the rook would be open, the bishop would have a better square, so yeah. So that happened. My bishop was doing a lot more here than it was here. It's looking at the knight. If the knight ever moves, this pawn is under attack, so yeah. And he attacked my knight. Now I saw this a couple moves before and I was debating, okay, can I take this pawn or not? And I thought I could, so I just took. And after this I was like, okay, I can defend my knight. I know I'm losing this pawn, and he did take it, but I felt like, okay, that's okay for me because this queen is not really dangerous, even though it's in my territory here. It's not really doing much. And I felt like I needed to get rid of his knight now, because I wanted to get this knight back in the game, and also this pawn is under attack. So I took the knight, and after that I could bring my knight back into the game. Now my opponent blundered here, and he played rook here, which allowed me to go for this fork. So at this point I was feeling kind of happy. I thought, okay, maybe I'm finally getting over the 2000 rating. If I'm winning this game, I'm sure I'm gonna be there. So yeah, he moved this rook, and I took the other rook, and he took back. So I'm up in exchange now, and what I did here, and in hindsight that wasn't the best, but I was attacking his queen. Also defending this pawn. Notice that the rook and the queen were both attacking it, so I thought, okay, this is fine. But it really wasn't the best way to do this, because the queen could have gone here, and now I have no way to defend this pawn. Notice that if I ever move this rook, my own queen is under attack. So yeah, this pawn is gone now. But instead of that, he moved his queen here. And now it actually worked out for me, because I could move my queen here to defend. So these pawns are both defended now. I'm ready to double up my rooks. But even more so, I saw that I was potentially trapping his queen, so I had to do something about that, because my rook is going there. But what did he do? He just moved his king, which is probably one of the worst moves I've ever seen. I mean, your queen is getting trapped and you just move your king. But yeah, I trapped his queen and he resigned. So that's how I reached 2001 rating on Lichess. And well, since that I've played some other games. I was a bit late with this video, but I went up and down, above and under the 2000 rating. But yeah, it's first milestone, so let's see what we can do on chess.com in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.